Yes, this is the C121 line, where white has just played bishop takes d5, and this is regarded to be one of white's best tries for an advantage in this line, in this whole 12 d3 system. And it has been played at the very highest levels several times in years. And players like Etienne Bacrot, the French master, has played this line from both sides. And I think many players are playing lines on both sides of the martial attack. Very interesting. Aronian has played this from the black side several times, and we shall see what happens. We will follow the game Jan Smeets, Etienne Bacrot from 2008. Bacrot takes on d5, of course, and then Smeets played queen takes d5. Other moves have been tried from white here. Bishop e3 has been tried by Kasimdzhanov against Adams, and Bacrot has played bishop e3 here, and Anand has played bishop e3 against Aronian in 2008. But we will follow the game. Smeets Bacrot, queen takes d5, rook a d8 covering the bishop, and then queen g2 followed. And here it's not advisable for black to exchange the queens, and getting to an endgame that will see white having all the winning chances. So queen h5 is the right move, keeping some attacking possibilities on the white king side. Bishop e3, bishop h3, queen h1, and f5 follows here. And this is a good attacking move, and of course a very normal move in the martial attack, and f4 is the threat here. And therefore Smeets plays bishop b6, removing the bishop and opening up the e-file for the rook, and attacking the rook on d8. Bacrot moves it to d7, queen d5 check, king h8, and knight d2. And now white has almost completed his development and seems in fine shape, but Bacrot plays a fine rook sack which opens up the king position and gives black a very strong attack. So what follows here is bishop takes g3. Smeets takes the rook on d7 and bishop f4. This is winning back the knight on d2 because Smeets has to take care of mates on g2 after queen g4 check. So he has to play the queen to the long diagonal, and he plays queen b7. Bacrot takes the knight on d2, bishop d4, threatening on g7. Bacrot defends g7 with rook g8 and rook e7, and Smeets is seemingly applying very good pressure on g7, but he has overlooked a very strong reply from Bacrot, and the move is bishop c1. A beautiful move, and the idea is of course that rook takes c1 doesn't work because of queen g5 check, and then white will get mated. So and of course Smeets also has to cover this check from the queen, which was the idea of blocking white's rook's defense of d1 square. So bishop c1, a very beautiful move, and Smeets has to retreat his rook, and bishop f4. And although the black rook on g8 is out of play, it's only passively guarding the g7 pawn, then black still has some very dangerous threats around the white king. So Smeets decides to give back the exchange to get rid of that very strong dark squared bishop, so he plays rook e3. Bacrot takes the rook and plays rook e8. And in this position, Smeets plays bishop d4. Again, threatening on g7 and hoping that Bacrot would put his rook back on g8, but instead follows queen g4 check, king h1, and h6. And with this little move h6, then the black rook is now free from its duties on the back rank, and Smeets actually resigned the game here because of the mating threats coming after. For example, we could could say a move like rook g1, for example, then simply queen takes, king takes, and rook e1 checkmate. And if, for example, f4 here, then the rook can leave the 8th rank and go to e7. Rook can of course not be taken because of the mate on g2, so queen c6 instead, and then queen takes f4, and then ideas like rook e2, bishop g4, and bishop f3 is giving black a winning attack. So Smeets rightfully resigned. So it turned out that bishop d4 in this position was a mistake. And in a later game, Sutovsky, same year, 2008, Sutovsky here played queen c7 instead, because now he can go to g3 when the queen gives check on g4. So and this game was actually drawn. But I think this Smeets Bacrot game is a very nice example of some of the attacking resources Black has, even with only a few pieces left for the attack. So this is definitely encouraging for Black players playing the martial attack.